Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to the 16th annual Latinos Unidos Luncheon. My name is Lisette Campos. I am the Director of Community Affairs for ABC Action News, and I have the privilege of serving as your Mistress of Ceremonies. This is a very exciting and special day. Not only is the Latinos Unidos Luncheon marking its Sweet 16, but also we have record attendance today. So please give yourselves a round of applause. The event, of course, would not be possible without the support of our community sponsors. We'd like to recognize the gold sponsor is Florida Blue. Our bronze sponsors are Bright House Networks, Fifth Third Bank, the Helios Education Foundation, Publix Supermarkets, Ray's, Telemundo Tampa, and Wells Fargo. The in-kind sponsors are ABC Action News, Alegra Printing, Centro Tampa, Clear Channel Outdoor, Sparkso, the Tampa Tribune, Silver Forest Studios, the Tampa Bay Times, Telemundo, Univision Tampa, and WEDU VME, which means see me in Spanish. Also, we'd like to thank the collaboration of Hart, Tico, Verizon, and the Nielsen Company. At this time, we would like to ask all of our elected officials to please stand to be recognized. I'd also ask that these students who have been either current or past recipients of the Latinos Unidos scholarships to please stand at this time. And now it is tradition for the presentation of the color guard to occur at this time, so I'd like to ask all of you to please stand to receive the colors. They are presented by the Tampa Police Department Honor Guard. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Order on. Honor guard, move. Joanna Cintrón will be joining me at the podium at this time. She is a Hillsborough Community College student and a scholar recipient of the Latinos Unidos program. Hi, how are you? Do you want me to hold this? Yeah. Okay.
Hello, everybody. I would like to thank everybody for coming out and the staffs and everybody for making this event possible. I please ask that you bow your head for a quick prayer. Lord, I ask for you to bless this food and the people who prepared it, for the sponsors and the staff who worked so hard to get this. Señor, da pan a los que tienen hambre de ti y pan a los que no tienen. Señor, te pido en nombre de Cristo Jesús. Amén.
Amen. Thank you. Thank you, Joanna. We are going to try to get through the program so that, respectful of all of your busy schedules, again, we are so appreciative of all of you coming and joining us. This is the 16th annual Latinos Unidos Scholarship Luncheon, and we are so excited to have you. We have a wonderful keynote speaker, as we always do, and his presentation will occur a little later in the program. Please feel free to eat, enjoy your lunch, and we will continue the program along the way. underway. I'd like to introduce at this point the event chair for the Latinos Unidos Luncheon. She is a recipient of the Latinos Unidos Scholarship Award back in 1995. She graduated from USF, go Bulls, in 2000 with a degree in civil engineering, and today she sponsors other students and is a mentor to students in the Latinos Unidos Scholarship Program. She is the chair of the Latinos Unidos Luncheon since 2013 and now has set her sights on public service and is aspiring to the City Council. Please join me in welcoming the chair of this year's event, Jackie Toledo.
Bienvenidos. Thank you so much for coming. I cannot believe the turnout we have today. And I don't know why Latinos always wait till last minute to RSVP, but you need to RSVP earlier next time. But I want to thank everyone for coming. I mean, this is, again, a record year for us, and I don't know if it had anything to do with Alex Sanchez, our speaker, because he got all these banks. I had no idea we had so many banks in Tampa, but I really appreciate all the support from the banks. If you look around, you'll see like every bank represented here today. So I want to thank everyone, our sponsors that Lisette mentioned, and this is all about our students, because the students we have today, if you guys can please stand again, I mean all the students that are here, they are our future leaders. They're small, so you might not be able to see them. But just like me, I know how it is to have someone believe in them. And believe me, they are so grateful for you. And I want to thank you guys again for coming. I want to thank the universities that are here, USF, President Genschaft, UT, President Vaughn, and President Ken Atwater with HCC. We have raised almost $1 million in scholarships, so we are really grateful for your support in our endeavors. I'd also like to recognize the Mayor's Hispanic Advisory Council. If you can please stand up. I know you're here. Thank you so much for all your hard work. They've put in so much time. And Cindy Taselli, who is not on, she is our liaison. If she's here, I know she's here. She's an amazing asset to our council, so thank you so much. And I would love for you guys to enjoy your lunch. We have an amazing program today, an amazing speaker, and our wonderful Leadership Award recipients. So please enjoy your food. Thank you.
I took some notes on the universities because I've heard Mayor Buckhorn talk about this on numerous occasions, and I don't think that we take enough time to flesh it out a little bit and to really explain what a big deal it is to have these universities in our community. And when we say you have just received a scholarship to the University of South Florida, the University of Tampa, Hillsborough Community College, just what a big deal that is. Dr. Sean Robinson has just joined the table. Judy Genschaft, as you saw earlier, is here. And also Dr. Ron Vaughn is here from the University of Tampa. And I can only say that the three of you have big reasons to be proud. Just a few of the headlines. The University of Tampa started in 1931 with 67 students and now has more than 7,200. 50% of the students are from Florida, and over 1,300 are international students from more than 130 countries. The University of South Florida is a public research university founded in 1956. It is the fourth largest public university in Florida with enrollment of more than 47,000 students. The economic impact of USF is $4.4 billion, and it is listed among the top 50 universities, public or private, for federal research expenditures. It is ranked 10th worldwide among universities granted U.S. patents. And finally, the Hillsborough Community College has a success story of its own as well. Founded in 1968, HCC has become the fifth largest community college in Florida. Student population is 48,000, and they have 5 campuses and 3 centers. So please join me again in a big round of applause. We are very proud of our academic institutions. I feel like if my dad were here, he would say, anuncio político pagado, but it's not. Okay, at this point, I would like to introduce the council chair, Mr. Giovanni Gutierrez, who says to me that we might want to have our Kleenex or our handkerchiefs ready because they have produced a beautiful video for you all to see, once again, to highlight how this scholarship changes people's lives for generations in each family.
Thank you, Lisette. Welcome, everyone. Thank you for being here today. This is truly an honor. I am so pleased to see you all here. I'm very thankful for the work that Jackie and the council have done to produce this event for the past 16 years now. The video that we produced for you guys is really to show appreciation to you as a donor and to future donors. I stand here, as an example of, the labor of love that comes from a company or a sponsor opening up their wallet to help a student pursue their education dreams. My family moved to Miami when I was 9 years old from Nicaragua, and as you can imagine, your traditional immigrant story, you work hard, you try to go to school to do what's best for you and your family. I had the opportunity to receive a scholarship to attend Miami-Dade Community College, which then opened the door to receive a scholarship to the University of South Florida. And then after I graduated from the University of South Florida, I pursued my MBA and Master's in Marketing at the University of Tampa. So I have walked the walk, and I am here as a testament to the work and the support that you guys have given us. Thank you. So as we were preparing this video, it really touched me to spend time with the 3 students that you're going to see highlighted in this video, because no matter what generation you're in, no matter where you're from, the struggles are the same. You have families who want to do better for themselves, and to me that's really personal, and that's why I support the Mayor's Hispanic Advisory Council and the Latinos Unidos program. So without further ado, let's go ahead and present you with the video.
I'm Nicole Rodriguez Lamas. I'm from San Jose, Costa Rica. I was born and raised there. I've been living here in the United States for 2 years, and I attend the University of Tampa. I'm an elementary education major and a junior.
My name is Milvia Cretaya. I'm a senior at University of South Florida. I came to the United States from Cuba when I was 9 with my mom, and we lived in West Palm Beach for 5 years and then moved to Tampa and been here ever since.
Hello, my name is Joanna Cintron. I am a sophomore at Hillsborough Community College. I am the first in my family to graduate from high school and to attend college. My family and I came over from Puerto Rico when I was 11 years old, and we've been here ever since.
I'm graduating with my bachelor's in communication and science disorders. I plan to go to graduate school to get my master's in speech-language pathology, and after that I plan to go to school settings and work there as a bilingual speech-language pathologist.
Besides going to school, I am a lab supervisor, I tutor, and I'm a mentor for incoming freshmen, which takes a lot of time.
After HCC, I plan to attend USF in the fall and finish my degree in biomedical sciences, get a minor in environmental sciences, and a minor in psychology. I plan to attend medical school and be an advocate for the mental health community and help Latinos.
I just want to thank the sponsors. I hope I make them very proud. It's an honor and privilege to receive such a scholarship.
The Latino Scholarship has meant a great deal to my family and I. I am the oldest of three, first to graduate. I'm proud of it.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
So at this time, I'd like for Milvia, Joanna, and Nicole to stand up. I think they're here with us today. So thank you, ladies. And I also want to thank our sponsor, Silver Forest Studios, for producing the video. Outstanding job. Thank you again. Once again, I have Jackie Toledo here, who is our recipient of the scholarship, and she has some words for you guys as well.
When I see this video, I get very emotional because I was once in their shoes, and I know that you guys make a difference in children's lives, and you made a difference in my life. I would not be here today as your chair if it hadn't been for someone believing in me. And I know some people might say, no, one person cannot make a difference, but you all can make a difference. Believe me when I tell you that the feeling that they have, and I know no matter where they're from, Peru, Cuba, or Puerto Rico, wherever they're from, one thing we have in common is that we have gratitude for everything that we are given. And believe me, you can make a difference today. In front of you, you will see pledge cards. Please fill them out. You don't have to donate today, but if you do, there's an incentive as if you needed one. The Straz has offered to give out 2 tickets for dinner at the Maestros and tickets for Cinderella. So if you fill out a pledge card, you will be eligible to win 2 tickets. But I know you want to do it for the students because they would appreciate it. I know if everyone here gave $10, that would allow one student to go to school at HCCs. So believe me, you can make a difference in our community. You can make a difference in our students' lives and our students' future. So please invest in our future and invest in education. Thank you so much again.
Think about that. $10 of each person. That's 2 rounds of saying goodbye to the lady at the Starbucks drive-through window. Saying sorry.
The City of Tampa Mayor's Hispanic Advisor.
See, even she is passing up on her Starbucks coffee. This is a beautiful sight, isn't it? To see the community come together to change lives. We are blessed to live in a community that does that, and does that with an open heart. And that is why the students excel and then come back and become sponsors themselves, which is what we've seen. It's a community that's grateful and takes the time to recognize the treasures that we have among us. One of the guests today is someone who many of you have worked with over the years. She is 94 years young. She will be celebrating her 95th birthday at the end of this month. We are talking about Matilda Martinez Garcia. And this year, to honor her, the Mayor's Hispanic Advisory Council has added an award in her name. To explain it and to present the inaugural Matilda Martinez Garcia Leadership Award, I present to you my dear friend, past chair of the council and just an overall amazing human being, Maruchi Azorin Blanco.
Muy buenas tardes. Before we proceed with the brief video of the Matilda Martinez Garcia Leadership Award, I think it's absolutely appropriate that since Matilda is turning 95 at the end of May, we do a round of Happy Birthday Matilda. How about that? 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Matilda.
Happy birthday to you.
Matilda, you are forever young in all of our hearts, and as so many of us have often said, when we grow up, we want to be just like you. So today, I have the honor and privilege of introducing the inaugural Matilda Martinez Garcia Leadership Award presented by the Mayor's Hispanic Advisory Council. But first, we're going to see a short video describing the honoree and the person who it's named after, Matilda.
The City of Tampa Mayor's Hispanic Advisory Council is proud to introduce the Matilda Martinez Garcia Leadership Award to honor the Hispanic members of our community who make extraordinary contributions to the Hispanic community and the people of Tampa. The Matilda Martinez Garcia Leadership Award was established in honor of Matilda Martinez Garcia, a respected community leader and the only remaining character member of the City of Tampa's Mayor's Hispanic Advisory Council, established in 1983. Martinez Garcia's roots include being one of the original pioneering families of Hillsborough County. A plethora of awards and recognition have never deterred her commitment and diligence to community service. At the age of 95, she still attends meetings and events that she holds dear. The inaugural recipient of this award is Rafael Martinez Ybor. Rafael Martinez Ybor is one of Tampa's living legends. As the great-grandson of Vincent Martinez Ybor, Rafael has a passion for all that is Ybor City and carries the responsibility of tradition with grace and respect through his tireless efforts on the many projects that honor his great-grandfather's legacy and his own cultural heritage. Rafael was born in Cuba, moved to the U.S. when he was 5, and lived in New Orleans, as well as Tampa before returning to Cuba, where he graduated from the University of Havana. He began a long career as a banker with the Trust Company of Cuba. He and Cecilia, his bride of 50 years, left Cuba in 1961 for New Orleans, where Rafael worked for the Bank of New Orleans. He was honored with many awards and commendations in New Orleans for his civic work, but his heart and soul belonged to Tampa, and his long-desired return to Tampa was made possible when he returned to work for the flagship Bank of Tampa. He retired from banking after 50 years of service. His last position was as Senior Vice President of International Banking for the Bank of Tampa for 10 years. He was a founding member of the Ybor City Museum Society Board, served for 12 years on the Ybor City Chamber of Commerce Board, and became the first person to hold the position of Emeritus Member of the Ybor Chamber of Commerce. He served as President of the Ybor City Rotary Club and has been a member of the Ybor City Rotary Club for over 40 years. He initiated the Tampa Oviedo Sister City Agreement. He was awarded the 1992 Tony Pizzo Award by the Ybor City Museum Society. His devotion to our Hispanic history and heritage has brought worldwide recognition for groups such as the Tampa Historical Society and the Tampa Bay History Center. Even in retirement, he has continued to spearhead international commerce in Tampa and spread goodwill among the foreign visitors to our community. The legacy of Tampa, Ybor City, and the memories of all those immigrants that made it possible will live far brighter and longer thanks to the dedication and commitment of Rafael Martinez Ybor.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is my greatest honor and privilege to present to you Rafael Martinez Ybor.
You know, this is such an emotional moment for me. I know many of you do things, and you don't do it for recognition. You do it for the satisfaction that you get. And my life, that's what I've done. I guess I got that from my great-grandfather, Don Vicente, and my grandfather, Rafael, who was Rafael Juan Palito. I feel very honored to be first recipient of the Matilda Garcia Leadership Award, and I'm very proud to be Hispanic. I want to share this award. Your program says 50 years, but I want to share this award with my wife, Cecilia. On May the 3rd, last Saturday, we were 55 years married. And really, I guess that's what marriage is. All I have accomplished in my life, what I have done, has been with her kind help and guidance. She's really been, we have no children, so that bond between Cecilia and I, it's more than super glue. It's there, it's there. So, Mayor Buckhorn, I thank you. The members of the Mayor's Hispanic Advisory Council, muchas gracias. And last but not least, Matilda, thank you for the award that bears your name. You're a fine lady and certainly an icon in this community. And to all of you, my God, I never expected this. To all of you, thank you for sharing this most unforgettable moment with Cecilia and myself. So thank you so much for being here. I'm privileged.
Let them enjoy their Kodak moment. Cecilia, you have him well trained. He added those 5 years. That's very good. He credits her. Behind every great man, there is a woman with superpowers. That's what I say. And now to a gentleman who needs no introduction, our brilliant Mayor of Tampa, Mayor Bob Buckhorn.
Buenas tardes. It is indeed good to be here. Thank you, everybody. To the elected officials that are here, thank you for being part of an amazing city and an amazing county. There were two people that I see that did not get introduced. Our superintendent of schools, Mary Ellen Elia. And Tampa's favorite son, the guy who is a legend in this community. Some of you may regret this. He has sworn me in every time I have been elected. He is one of my favorite people, Judge E.J. Salcinas. You know, when I stand up here and look out at this audience, I see what it is that makes us such a different place, what makes Tampa so unique. I see an audience that is black and white, Hispanic, young and old, wealthy, those that aspire to be. I see an audience that's gay and straight, that's Christian, Jewish, Muslim. I see a city that recognizes that in our diversity, we are stronger. I see a city that acknowledges the inherent value and wealth in every human being, regardless of where you came from or how you got here, regardless of the God you worship or who you love. I see a city that understands that we are in this for the long run and we are in this together, and that we're going to succeed together or we're going to fail alone. And I see a city that recognizes that as we do well and as we prosper, we must also reach down and help people along the way. A city and a community that understands that people like Gio and Jackie, who once were young and needed our help, who once didn't know what that path would take them along, and who, but for you and but for this community and your generosity, would not be here today in the positions that they are, prepared to write checks, to pay it forward, to allow some other student to be blessed by the blessings that have been given to them. That's what makes us unique. That's what makes us Tampanians. We were settled by Cubans, Spanish, and Italian immigrants. We are a paella of a city. It is what makes us different. It is what makes us better. It is what makes us stronger. It is why we lead this state out of this recession, creating more jobs in the Tampa Bay area than any place else in the state of Florida, because we recognize that we are in this together and we are not leaving anybody behind. So understand that what we're about to do today is going to make a difference in the lives of some young people that you don't even know. And those young people matter. They may not look like you. They may not be your biological kids. They may come from different places and speak different languages and been born in different countries. But they are entitled to the same opportunity in this great country that was given to me and to my two kids. Don't tell me immigration isn't a good thing for America. Don't tell me these young people, don't tell me these young people who came to America, the product of parents who may not be citizens, don't deserve the same educational opportunities in our state that my two kids are going to get. Don't tell me we won't be better. So to all of you tonight, today, whatever day it is, because I don't know, I need you to dig deep. They didn't tell me to make this ask, but I need you to dig deep. I need you to make a difference in the lives of a kid. I need you to give them the same opportunities that we were given. I need you to recognize that in giving to that young person, this will be a better city. And those living messages that we will send to a generation that we may not see will determine what this city and this country ends up to be. So make an investment in our future, because as parents and as community leaders, we have a simple obligation, and that obligation is to leave this place and this city in better shape than it was given to us. You can do that by helping somebody along the way. So get those checkbooks out, write checks. Corporations, pay it forward. Pay it forward. By doing well by others, you do well as well. Thank you for being here. And in recognition of that, like we do every day, I'm not going to read all the whereases. You've heard enough of me. Today is Latinos Unidos Day, declared by me. Is that good? Good enough? Let's give you a kiss. All right, now I get the fun part. I get to introduce Patsy's husband.
Yeah.
Smartest decision he ever did was to marry this woman right there, right? How about it, Tampa? I'm going to be brief, Alex, because I know I've been in your shoes before. Our keynote speaker today is no stranger to Tampa. He lived here for 4 years, 5 years. He is the president and the Chief Executive Officer of the Florida Bankers Association. Now, what does that mean? He doesn't give out car loans. There's a lot of other bankers here that can take care of that for you. He represents the banking industry in the state of Florida. He is the face of the banking industry in the state of Florida. He is the guy that goes to bat for banking customers, consumers, banks, to make sure that we have a healthy infrastructure that will allow our banks to succeed and to make sure that they have plenty of money to lend to all of us who have none. He's an advocate in Tallahassee, a powerful advocate in Tallahassee for the banking industry. He's got a long career. He has served his president. He has served his country at the federal level. He is a lawyer. He is married to one of the coolest women I know. He is a Tampanian, not by birth, are you? He's an adopted Tampanian.
Right. That's good enough.
He is our friend, the president and the CEO of the Florida Bankers Association, my friend Alex Sanchez.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you, and great to be here with you back in Tampa. And Bob, I love your passion. If I were a CEO and you came to my office to talk about relocating to Tampa and Tampa Bay, I'd listen to you for one reason: because your passion. Every time I hear Mayor Buckhorn speak, I'll tell you what, I love his passion for Tampa and Tampa Bay. Let's give him a big hand, please. But let me start off first with two announcements I want to make. First of all, Bob has kind of stolen my thunder, but my best friend is here, and she happens to be my soulmate as well. And she is speaking of passion, very passionate. Judy, very passionate about USF, very passionate about her family, about the children that she helps in Bold Nation. And she is my wife, Patsy Feliciano. Let's welcome her, please. And the second and last thing I want to say before I get into other introductions is, and this I ask you, there's a couple of things I'm going to say, and I want you to remember, and this is one of them. This is very important, because I know we're all important, and we're all very busy. But I'm asking you, if you're in an airport, or if you're walking around town, and you see one of our heroes, please take a moment and say, "Welcome home, sir. Thank you for your service, ma'am," to the men and women who serve our country. To the three university presidents here, Dr. Judy Genshaft of USF, Dr. Ronald Vaughn of the University of Tampa, and I know Dr. Atwater of HCC is not here, but Dr. Sean Robinson of HCC, thank you for your leadership and what you do for our future leaders of our country and our state. Thank you. And Judy, I got to go back to you and tell you that Patsy has me doing the bull sign at football games, cheering for the Bulls. I want you to know that. So she's got me saying, "Go Bulls, go Bulls." You know, two people I worked with very closely in preparation for today. I want to thank Giovanni Gutierrez, the chair of the Mayor's Advisory Council, and the Luncheon chair, Jackie, and all the members of the council, but especially the two that I worked with, Gio and Jackie. Thank you guys for your leadership. Thank you very much. Most importantly, one more time, I want to ask the students to stand up. I hate to interrupt your lunch, but stand up. The students, all the students here, please stand up and be recognized again. My advice to you, to the students, is always, without a doubt, believe in yourself. Without a doubt, believe in yourself and believe in him. And if you do those two things, you will be an unstoppable force. So it's great to be here with you, especially you. And finally, I want to thank the great men and women I work with each and every day. And I would like all the bankers in the room who have been so supportive of this event today, all the bankers, please stand up. I want you to stand up, all the bankers, and be recognized. All the bankers, stand up. Come on, guys. Stand up, the whole table. Stand up. Let's go, stand up. Thank you. I tell you, our bankers are making dreams come true each and every day. Every time they make a home loan and a small business loan to make a dream come true for somebody, that is a special day, a special day. I'm going to talk about now my experiences in my life. I want to share with you my background, and I hope it is helpful to you and your children and to the students that are here. I want to talk about leadership traits that I have been very blessed to acknowledge in my life. And trust me, I've been at places with certain leaders that I'll be honest with you, I've asked myself, oh my God, what am I doing here? Just watching and learning from others. So I'm going to share those with you in my remarks today. Of course, education is very important. Very, very important. Without it, most of us would not be in this room today. And in this country of ours, our beloved United States of America, the land of opportunity, education opens doors like in no other country, period, end of story. And in Florida, we're very fortunate, as the mayor said, we have a diverse population, and in that diversity, there's opportunity for everyone. You know that Florida led the nation with the number of Hispanic-owned businesses? During the last decade, the number of Hispanic-owned businesses doubled, growing from 1.6 million in 2002 to a projected 3.3 million in 2013, according to a recent study of Geoscape. This year, the projected income of these businesses is over $468 billion. An increase of $100 billion, Bob, in these past 6 years. The report also shows that Hispanic business owners are 86% more likely to have household incomes between $100,000 and $149,000, and are 3 times more likely to have household incomes of $150,000 or more. Hispanics have become a mainstream in America. I know a little bit about opportunity, as I know you do, all of you. I arrived on the shores of freedom on September 3rd, 1962, on a freedom flight from the tyranny of Fidel Castro's communism. There was a dictator talking about income redistribution, confiscation of land, and he made it illegal to own private property, establish a police state with no freedom of religion, press, or speech. My parents lost everything they had in Cuba that they worked very hard for in their middle-class lifestyle to his tyranny of communism. My dad was smuggled out of Cuba on the cargo ship Guadalupe to La Coruña in northern Spain by a family friend who was a Roman Catholic priest. My mom stayed behind with my 2 older brothers and me until my dad could come to the United States and prepare our visas to get us out on the freedom flights. The Castro government wanted my older brother to stay, so they told my mom, "You can leave, ma'am, with your 2 younger sons, except we want your older one to stay for military and indoctrination training." And you know what my mom said? Not only no, but no even stronger. She said, "No way, man. I'm leaving with my 3 sons, and until then, we're not leaving." And my mom did. We settled in the Bronx in New York City. And at the age of 40, my parents had to start all over again, working whatever job they could. My dad as a porter at Incarnation Catholic Church in Manhattan. And my mom in a factory called Pre-Pack, jobs that are in China today, making plastic cooler bags there in the Bronx. We lived with another Cuban family of 4, and we were 5, and you can see how small I am. So my two older brothers and I, you can imagine what my parents had to do to feed us. But the 9 of us lived in that little tiny apartment in the Bronx until we can my parents can get their feet up and ready and get their own apartment. And Christmas was tough, guys. It was tough, not a lot of toys. But you know what? We saw how hard our parents worked. We saw how hard they worked. You know, whenever I'm having a bad hair day, and I just got this new hairstyle, you know, I think about my parents. I think about Alex. Alex, what are you complaining about? What are you complaining about? I think about my parents. That inspires me to realize, you know what? I'm so blessed. I am so blessed. My parents never complained. They never took government assistance. We grew up poor, but you know what? We felt we had a great life. We felt like we were doing great. My parents were never envious of others. They never said, hey, why does that guy have a Beamer and we don't? They never said that. They worked hard. And you know what they told their sons? Study. Work hard. This is America. This is America. You know, my parents couldn't help me with my homework, ever. They never could. And you know what? Here I am standing in front of you. And so my advice to parents is help your children with your homework, but don't do it for them. Let them venture out themselves. It's okay if they fall. That's part of growing up. That's part of raising a man or a woman to be independent and to be able to fly away from the nest one day. It's okay. It's okay. Teach your children how to fish. As parents, we're all tempted to give them the fish. Teach them how to fish is the lesson that I learned from my parents. I will tell you, as a 10-year-old pudgy little boy, I used to wear husky. That was my size. My two brothers were 6'3" and 6'4", and I was short, and I remember hearing the whispers of my parents' friends saying, was Alex adopted? And then I grew, and then I grew. But I remember one time my dad asked me to interpret for him at work as a 10-year-old. So I was there with my dad, listening to the person and looking at my dad interpreting English to Spanish, Spanish to English. Halfway through that experience as a 10-year-old child, I knew my dad was getting the short end of the stick. Why am I saying this to you? Expose your children to everything. Everything and anything you can for them to learn. You know what I used to like watching when I was a kid? Perry Mason. Perry Mason. I used to love that show. And that's one of the reasons I became a lawyer. And that experience with my dad never left me. I wanted to make things right to the best that I could. After high school, I wanted to give this great country, after high school, a down payment. I still haven't repaid this country. I gave it 5 years of my life in the United States Air Force because I love the United States. Back then, they didn't allow us sometimes to wear our uniform home because our soldiers were not treated with the respect that they deserved. And I used to always look at my commander and say, Commander, we can't wear our uniform home. Oh, my God. I always wanted to. And when I could, I did. I'll tell you what, I've been fortunate to travel to other countries around the world, and without a doubt, the United States is the beacon of hope. To the students here, look, I know you're having tough days sometimes. let me say this to you. I went to undergrad after serving my country, working during the day. I went to school from 5:30 to 9:30, Monday through Thursday, 48 weeks out of the year. And I didn't even drink Cuban coffee back then, you know. And so hang in there and keep at it every day. Stay involved and stay with it. After my honorable discharge from the U.S. Air Force, I went to law school at the University of Iowa and then came back home to practice law. I would advise the students here one thing that I mentioned about our beloved mayor. Please, when you decide a subject matter to study, study something you have a passion for. Don't say, I'm going to law school because my friends are going to law school. I'm doing this because my friends are doing that. If you do not have a passion for it, don't do it. And everyone has a passion. Everybody deep inside wants to do something, and that's what they've been called to do. Follow that path is my advice, students. I will tell you, as a father of two wonderful girls, I'm very blessed, and they get the credit. Sometimes we parents get too much credit when our children succeed, or too much blame. But they're the ones who have to walk the walk and talk the talk. My oldest, Christina, graduated from FSU and then got her MBA from Rollins. And my youngest, I will see in a week, she got her undergrad from Rhodes and now is graduated from grad school at NYU. So I'll be in the Big Apple next week to see her graduate from New York University. Very proud of them, very proud of them. You know, I credit this program and the videos, Gio, that you ran. This is, you know, what you're doing, Bob, what you're doing for our children, for our future leaders of our state, our country, of our economy is just wonderful. And I think everybody in Tampa should be proud of this. I think our future is bright. When I visit Patsy on campus, Judy, and I see the students that you're preparing at USF, and I could say the same thing for University of Tampa and HCC. It's just an honor to talk to these young men and women, Judy. It's incredible. And when they stop Patsy and talk to her, I tell you, I feel good. I feel good about our future. I really do. I think these young men and women are going to lead our nation and lead our economy to a higher level. I can tell you, from the business perspective, the #1 complaint, and I read this in a recent article, the #1 complaint of corporate America to schools putting out MBA students, you know what that is? They're saying, you're sending us bright kids, but you're not sending us enough kids who can look you in the eye and tell their story. They can email it to me, but they can't look at me and tell me. And Judy, I'll tell you, when I had lunch with Dean Moez at the business school, I love his mentorship program where you have to ride in an elevator for 2 minutes at night, and you have to convince your mentor in that elevator ride why you should be hired. You have to look your mentor in the eye. And I think we need to teach our young men and women more of that. We do. We really, really do. I think we have to be technologically savvy. There's no question about that. But the rewards of our great society, of the greatest system that exists on earth today, it's called the free enterprise system. Those rewards will go to those who are high tech and high touch. You gotta have both of those. You've got to. Work on relationships. To the students, my advice is work on relationships. When you gotta write a thank you note, go to Publix, buy cards, and handwrite it and send it instead of in an email. It makes a big, big difference. Isn't that right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
What you know and the relationships you have will matter the most as long as we humans dominate this earth. That will never, ever change. I wanted to share that perspective from the business side because it's very, very important. You know, when I was a child, the debate was, some of you might, Mike, you might remember this, right? I mean, as a child, the debate was, are we watching too much television? And Mike and I were watching Gilligan's Island and the Munsters and, you know. So the debate was, are children watching too much television? We're having the same debate today. The debate today is, are our children playing too many video games? Here's my advice to you. Leave a balanced life for your children. Make sure they have a balanced life. And I'll conclude my remarks with this story about my father and my mother. It was 1964. It was the summer of 1964. My father, we had just arrived from Cuba 2 years earlier. He had arrived 3 years earlier. He took a summer job at the Sunoco gas station near Van Cortlandt Park, for you New Yorkers in the room, on Broadway. You know, the old style. There was no, food court or food station the mechanic went home at 5, so my dad from 6 to 10 pumped the gas. There was a little room there, and then, there was those black belts that when cars came, you heard ding, 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 and then you knew someone was out there, and you went out and filled up the gas. My dad took that job in the summer of '64 to help after working his day job. And my mom and my 2 oldest brothers and I, at about 6:30, would take him dinner. We walked about 8 blocks to the gas station in the Bronx. And you know what? We stayed with my dad in that little office talking to him while there were no cars coming. There was a little black and white TV in the other that was on. We were talking to my dad. And when my older brother and I talk about this, we don't talk about the episode of Gilligan's Island or the episode of Fred Gwynn as Herman Munster. We talk about the time with our father and our mother there in that little gas station, talking to him. We thought that was cool. And then after he locked up at 10, we all went home and walked the 7 or 8 blocks home with him. That's what I remember today. And if you think times have changed, as the Dow Chemical commercial says, then you're losing the most important element, my man and my friends, the human element. And we never, ever want to lose that. Because that personal touch and the friendships that we have is so vital to our success as a community and as a nation. So my advice is, make sure your children talk to their grandmother, talk to their grandfather, and talk to you. Thank you for asking me to be here. God bless you. I hope to see you soon.
Thank you so much, Alex. And as a small token of appreciation, we have a little gift from you, although you have our best asset in Patsy. Thank you so much for speaking.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
I just want to say one thing after you're done.
Absolutely. Alex, thank you so much. Your story is a similar immigrant story. It resonates with me. Jackie and I were talking about how incredible your story has been and your rise to success. So very inspirational. I also want to thank you for being a partner with the council and the mayor in the production and in the setup of this event, of the logistics. If it wasn't for your support, we wouldn't have an outstanding attendance today, record attendance. I thank the banking industry for showing your support for Alex and for the council and for our students. Thank you. And if it wasn't for Patsy, we wouldn't have you here. So Patsy, I truly appreciate all the work that you've done for the council. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And Mr. Mayor, you couldn't have said it better. So, you know, I live in Tampa. I'm proud to be in Tampa, even though I grew up in Miami, but I'm consider myself a Tampaño. Lisette, thank you for your job here today, always supporting us, and I truly appreciate the work you've done here today. To our esteemed guests, Dr. Robinson, Dr. Genshaft, and Dr. Vaughn, thank you, thank you. So Lisette, take it away.
We are just going to end the program with a key word. And when Alex was explaining what his mom would do, make them walk the 8 blocks to feed Dad and wait, and the dad making him go with him to translate, they were dealers in hope. His parents were teaching him hope. People use a drug dealer phrase. They were dealing, and they were dealing big time, but it was hope. And look at the product. That was one of the most touching keynote speeches that we have had at the Latinos Unidos, and we thank you for delivering that. And so, my proposition to all of you here is that you can be a dealer too, a dealer in hope. When you make a donation, big, small, or somewhere in between, you are becoming a transformative force in a young person's life. Please remember that. Consider that. You're not just writing a check, you are changing someone's life. You can be dealers of hope. Thank you for being here, and we hope to see you next year. Thank you. Have a great day, everybody.